We're going to now solder in these headers, female headers that came with the Perfboard. It'll be similar to the remote jammer if you remember doing that, but we're going to use these because that's all that came in the bag. We're going to be using them as a male, so these are actually going to plug into the Arduino board. And I know the sockets are meant to accept, but that's okay. Everything's going to work out fine. So just take these, figure out which one goes where. It's pretty easy to do. And then we'll flip it over and do the soldering. What's mostly important is that when we flip it over, that these headers remain straight up and down so they're resting flat on the board. So to flip it over, if you just kind of hang on to them and do that, and then get it resting on the tabletop like that so that these are coming straight up. And then what I do is usually just solder one of each of the legs in each of the 4 groups just so that I can check it and straighten if I need to. If you solder more than one, it's going to be to make any adjustments. So I'll do one there. Make sure that you're wedging your iron in there so that the pads are heating up along with that leg. All right, take a look. I can see one of them, this one's a little crooked. I must have moved a little bit. So I am going to just simply reheat that pad. And I'm just going to kind of hold it flat as I do that. There we go. You can see that straightened out. So these should all appear pretty straight up and down. If they do, great. Then you can go ahead and solder all of the remaining pads. All right, I would have had a video showing me soldering these in. Not completely necessary, but awesome. Lost my video clips that I just recorded. Gave me one of those oops errors. Not very happy. Anyway, you can see on here that all of these have been soldered. All right, and I can see that the solder is going around the pad and connecting to the pin coming up through it. These require a little more heat, so your soldering iron is probably going to need to set on there just a touch longer than usual before the solder starts to stick to the leg of the part and around to the pad. But just make sure that you do heat it long enough so that you can see the solder around it like you do here. Every single pin here and all along here, and make sure that you don't have any solder bridges, which would be solder that's connecting between any 2 pins. If there is, try and take your iron and swipe between it to eliminate the bridge if you have one.